Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Watchlist by Magenta Trade once again. Today is Friday, the 12th of August, and we are back with our regular YouTube live program, The Watchlist. At Magenta Trade, we teach you how to grow your portfolio using option trading strategies. In this program, The Watchlist, we help you navigate through the market by discussing news, views, and opinions along with the stock updates. We look for trading and investing opportunities using options based strategies in our options trading masterclass program. We teach you how to grow your long term investment portfolio and to protect your capital from severe market downturns using different strategies based on stocks and options. If you are interested to know more, please visit our website www.magentatrade.com. Sorry, www.magentatrade.com. You can also keep in touch with us by following us in the social media, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And of course, while watching this program, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, without much ado, let's get started. And all our discussions at Magenta Trade are solely for educational and information purposes. We are not investment advisors, and you should consult a financial advisor before making any investments. Options trading carry involve exceptional gains, but at the same time, they pose inherent risk. Past results are no guarantee of future gains. For more disclosures, you can visit our website www.magentatrade.com. Quickly, a couple of words about me. I'm Shan, joining you live. I have been actively trading for in stocks, ETFs, futures, options, warrants, CFDs, and currencies for more than 15 years now. I've turned my personal trading experience and passion into professional coaching, and recently we have formed the company Magenta Trade to share with you my strategies of success in trading using simple terms and techniques. Okay, you can read rest of the profile over there. At Magenta Trade, we base our strategies on three dimensions of investment: long-term capital growth, building a retirement portfolio over a long period of time, generating regular income using stocks and option trading strategies, and ensuring your capital is adequately protected against severe market downturns so that your hard-earned money is not wasted in adventures. Now, let's look at some of the stocks that we have announced in terms of earnings. Let's quickly move on to the next ones. We'll start with a Broadridge Financial Solutions. Let's quickly get to that. Broadridge Financial Solutions, they announced their fourth quarter June 2022 earnings of $2.65 per share on revenue of $1.7 billion. The expectation was earnings of $2.65 again, and revenue of $1.7 billion as well. So the stock is up by 6.8%. Revenue grew 12.5% year on year basis. The company said it expects fiscal 2023 earnings of $6.91 to $7.17 per share. The current expectation was $7.02 per share of earnings in for the year ending 30th of June 2023. So that is 4 quarters ahead, like the complete financial year ahead. Okay. Some other details: recurring revenue growth of 16% for the fiscal year 2022. Diluted earnings per share was $4.55, and adjusted earnings per share grew 14% to $6.46. Record closed sales of $282 million. Annual dividend has been raised 13% to $2.90 per share. Fiscal 2023 guidance of a 6 to 9% recurring revenue growth and 7 to 11% adjusted earnings per share growth. Sorry. So total revenue increased 12% to $1.723 billion from $1.532 billion in the prior year period. Operating income was $342 million, an increase of $60 million or 21%. Interest expense net was $21 million, an increase of $3 million. ICS total revenue were $1.354 billion, an increase of $146 million or 12%. GTO recurring fee revenues were $382 million, an increase of $57 million. Okay, so the next one we have is the Honest Company. These results were published in our social media channels. So in case you are not following us there, please do so. The Honest reported second quarter June 2022 loss of 11 cents per share on revenue of $78.5 million, whereas the expectation was a loss of 8 cents per share on revenue of $76.4 million. Revenue grew 5.3% year-on-year basis. The company said it continues to expect 2022 revenue of approximately 318 million, $318.64 million, whereas the expectation of revenue was $319.07 million for the year ending December 2022. Okay. Some more details. Revenue grew 5.3% on a year-on-year basis. Revenue from diapers and wipes, which represented 66% of total second quarter revenue. Revenue from household and wellness, which represented 4% of total second quarter revenue. So you can see how the different product categories have performed in this quarter and the previous quarters as well. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at another result that we announced yesterday in our social media channels, and that is National Vision Holdings, EYE. So National Vision Holdings announced their second quarter June 2022 earnings of 16 cents per share on revenue of $509.6 million. As the expectation was expectation was of earnings of 5 cents per share on a revenue of $504.4 million. Revenue fell 7.3% compared to the same quarter 12 months back or a year ago. The company said it expects now 2022 non-GAAP earnings of 65 cents to 77 cents per share on revenue of $1.99 billion to $2.02 billion. This is similar to the previous guidelines. Now, okay, comparable store sales growth of 11%, adjusted comparable store sales growth of 12.4%. Net revenue decreased 7.3% to $509.6 million. Net income decreased 74.1% to $9.7 million. Diluted earnings per share decreased 70.9% to 12 cents. Adjusted operating income decreased 57.6% to $27.8 million. Adjusted diluted earnings per share decreased 57%, excuse me, to 21 cents. Repurchased 2.6 million shares for $73 million. Okay. The next one we have announced yesterday was AIT, Applied Industrial Technologies. And they reported their fourth quarter June 2022 earnings of $2.02 per share on revenue of $1.1 billion, whereas the expectation was $1.68 per share on revenue of $975.3 million. So it has seriously exceeded the expected earnings. So that's quite big, and they have been doing it for the last many quarters. That's really impressive. For last almost 6 quarters, 5 quarters, they have been exceedingly performing against their estimates. So that's really good. And they have got a lot of free cash flow. Um, okay. The company said it expects fiscal 2023 earnings of $6.65 to $7.30 per share on revenue of $3.92 billion to $4.08 billion, whereas um, yeah, the overall revenue is a little bit better than the previous guidance or the market expectation. But the earnings per share is below the market expectation of $6.84 per share for the overall financial year. Okay, let's look at some other numbers. Fourth quarter net sales of $1.1 billion, up 18.5% year on year, up 18.7% on an organic basis. Fourth quarter net income of $79.1 million, earnings per share of $2.02, up 34.4% year on year. Full year net sales of $3.8 billion, up 17.8% year on year, up 16.6% on an organic basis. Full year net income of $257.4 million, earnings per share of $6.58, up 38.8% year on year from prior year adjusted earnings per share. Full year EBITDA of $409.6 million, up 29% year on year from prior year adjusted EBITDA. New 1.5 million share repurchase program announced. Okay. So that's about it. Let's quickly go back to the market here. S&P 500 having a stellar run today. Today's high is just above yesterday's high, and yesterday actually finally it closed flat. That's interesting. 4204. That was the level of Wednesday. Wednesday's close was 4210. Yesterday's close was 4207, just below. Yesterday close was just below the Wednesday's close, but today it has peaked again. Currently, S&P 500 is up by 57 points to 1.36%. Now, similarly, Nasdaq is up by 201 points, 1.58%, and Dow is up by 45 points, 1% higher than yesterday's close. Gold is up by 0.6%, silver is up by 2.19%, and oil is down by 2.25% to $91.95. Now, VIX volatility index is down by 4.75%, and dollar index is up by 0.5%. I'll come back to the S&P 500 to understand what's happening more. So, as we discussed on Wednesday, that the market has surpassed the major resistance level at around, you can say, 4156 to 4175 levels, and that was a major resistance level. And why did I say that? Because it was tested not only in the past week, but previously during the first week of June and 31st of May, around that time, for consecutively 8 or 9 trading days, those levels were tested. Now, I'll remove this Fibonacci. Yeah, this coin. Okay, now I'll start with a fresh. Okay, now let's look at this bear run. Okay, from here to here. Okay, so I'll draw a Fibonacci from here to here. This is the lowest. We have to pick the highest and the lowest. Okay, now we are technically at 61.8% fib levels from this high to this bottom. So that's a major level, 61.8%. And that level is at 4251, which has been crossed now, but we have to wait for the closing number. A closing number. So that is that's what we are looking for. The market is open for another hour and 15 minutes. So we will wait for that number, whether the S&P 500 closes above that level. And if it does, then probably we'll wait for another confirmation, and then we will see what happens, because otherwise that is also a resistance level. But I believe this resistance level was much stronger, around 4.4180 or 4179. Um, 4180 or something like that. But this one is also significant, 61.8%, considering this bear run. Let me see if we consider this, or we should consider something other as well. Now this is the 61.8% level. Now if we consider from the beginning of January, this is from 29th of March. Okay, now for a minute, let's consider this one. This high was 4th of January. Okay, let's consider that level quickly. So we'll start from this level to same this level. If we consider this level, then we are at the level of, we have just crossed the 50%. Now that is some of the analysts are saying that's another hurdle as well, which the market has crossed today, 4224. So there are two levels here. If we consider from the peak of for all-time high, 4th of January, from there the market has was bottomed to here around say 3636 levels, right? So I have taken a fib level from this January to this 17th of June. So now we have reached the retracement of 50% of that. We have just crossed the retracement today in intraday. Now, so that is a 50% level. And if we consider from March onwards, we have reached 61.8%. So both of these levels are important now. Of course, the longer the time frame, the bigger the resistance is, or the bigger the impact is. So if we consider the longer one, then we are at 50% level, very significant level. And if we are considering the short term 3 months one from the March peak, then it is around 61.8%, which is again important. So these are all the drawings and different levels. In case you are getting confused, just we have created two fib levels. One fib level from this high of 29th of March to the bottom of 17th of June, and then the other one we have considered from 4th of January, which was the all-time high. So and the analysts are saying that this 50% level is a very significant level. Historically, there is a strong you can say retreat from there. So from this particular retracement level, the index again goes down. So we have to wait and watch for that. But for the timing, I believe in terms of the S&P 500, I think this level of 4,000 is sustainable, is reasonable. So let's see what happens. We have already taken a bullish position on 4020 levels for S&P 500. just to watch what is happening over there. Okay, in terms of individual stocks, let's quickly have a look at some of the stocks. What's happening in the market? Let me quickly go there. Okay. First one is Peloton. Sorry, my typing. Peloton Interactive. The stock is up by 15% today after the company told employees it was cutting about 800 jobs, 780 to be specific. And this is ahead of the earnings report later next week, raising prices on some equipment and closing a number of stores as well. So there are cost savings on, or you can say, trying to increasing revenue on three ways. First dimension is reducing the number of employees, then closing some of the stores, and raising the equipment prices. So all three have been explored. Let's see, how the company performs. So that's Peloton Interactive. The stock is up by 15% almost. Yeah, 15% now as we speak. Then the next stock is Illumina. Illumina is down by 9%. The gene sequencing technology company reported lower than expected second quarter profit and revenue. But yeah, and Illumina also issued an outlook that fell short of analyst estimates. New York Times. New York Times is down by more than 3%. Actually, yesterday it had more than 11% rally, and then today it is down by 3%. Thursday's rally came after activist investor Value at Capital took a 6.7% stake, pushing the publisher to charge more for subscriber-only content. Look at another company as Toast. Toast is up by 9.75% now. Earlier it was around 12% or something. After it raised its earnings outlook for the year, the company also reported a loss for the latest quarter, but it was narrower than what analysts anticipated. So if you look at here, the expectation was 12 cents of loss, but the reported loss was 11 cents per share. And the revenue also beat the guidance or the expectations. Rivian. Rivian is more or less flat now. Earlier it was up by more than 1%. It also beat the revenue expectations in the most recent quarter and posting a smaller than expected loss. So that's the number you can see. Okay. Poshmark. Poshmark is down by 6.75% now. Earlier it was, much bigger, around 15%. Now the earnings report, the expectation was a loss of 23 cents, whereas the reported loss is 29 cents, even though the revenue is higher. They also issued weaker than expected revenue guidance for the current quarter. And of course, the previous quarter results were not good as well. Teladoc. Teladoc is up by 6.5% currently after D.A. Davidson initiated coverage of the telehealth company. The other one is the Olo. Olo is down by 35%, following a weaker than expected current quarter. earnings. You can see um, the earnings has been better, but revenue is little bit down. But the expectation is the outlook is much weaker. Okay, legal Zoom, LZ, legal Zoom is up by 17% now, 17.8%. Earlier it was more than 20%, I guess. And the online legal platform reported quarterly results as well, and their revenue is much was 5 cents per share against expectation of 1 cent per share, and the revenue is also higher. So Legal Zoom is doing well. Their second quarter revenue climbed 9% year on year. The company reported a net loss of $13.2 million for that quarter. The other one is the Six Flags Entertainment Corporation is up by 11.46%. And let's look at the earnings. Yeah, it was expectation was $1 per share, whereas the reported was 53 cents per share. Revenue is also much below than expected. The stock is up by 11.3%. Yesterday, actually, it lost significantly. Today, it has, regained. Okay, the earnings was yesterday. Okay, so those are some of the stocks in our watch list. Let's see what is happening. More or less, it's positive. Apple is above 171 now, and ADI is up 2.6%. Applied Materials is up by 5%. Applovin is up by 5% as well. Um, Berkshire is $300 now. Wow. Citigroup is $54. Yeah, Berkshire has got a stake in the Citigroup as well now. And Etsy is up by 3.9%. Infosys is up by 1.6%. Meta is up by 1.3%. And more or less all the stocks are up there, as you can see. Workday is up by 5%, and SBNY is up by 2% now. Okay, so we'll wait for the close of the market today to understand these levels and in which direction it might go on Monday or Tuesday. And whatever it is, we will continue to report you on our show Watchlist. Please do follow us on our social media channels and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like the video. Thanks a lot for joining today. Enjoy a wonderful weekend ahead, and let's see. Next week is the option expiry week, monthly option expiry week. So we will watch where the market goes there, and we'll come back on Monday afternoon, 2:30. Thanks a lot, and see you then. Enjoy your weekend once again. Thank you. Bye bye.